What's going on, beautiful people? And welcome back to another comic book review video. I'm your majestic sayer of words, SuperCliff, and if you guys are new to this channel, then do me a solid by smashing that like and subscribe button. And also hit the notification bell so that you'll never miss out on an upload, and so that you'll always be kept up to date with your favorite top tier comics happening in the comic book world. And today, folks, we are covering the beginning of WARWORLD Saga with Action Comics issue number 1036, which is written by the extremely talented Philip Kennedy Johnson with the art by Daniel Semper. And guys, if you haven't been keeping up with this comic, then definitely check out the playlist within this video's description. It will help catch everyone up on what's been happening. Now check it, folks. After learning of an enslaved race with mysterious ties to Krypton, Superman and the Authority travel across the galaxy to dethrone the new Mongul and liberate WARWORLD. And this story will introduce new characters and a new corner of the DC universe. And it must be stated that this is going to be the biggest Superman event since the death and return of Superman. Thus, without further ado, let's get this show on the road. Alrighty folks, so our story picks up on Durla, and we are currently seeing the individual that is referring to himself as Lord Premier. And this title is given to those who are the head of the table at the United Planets. But this day, he has decided that he's going to resign. And what he wants to do is that he wants to help his planet and other planets like his truly be able to rise out of the ashes. But as Lord Tharos is writing all this down, he is interrupted by a messenger by the name of Tharlock, who comes over and tells him of the news that Superman is on his way to WARWORLD. Now, of course, as being Premier, he has to question as to why Superman would do this. Like, that's his job. He needs to know the motive of why all of a sudden Superman of Earth is deciding that he wants to free a bunch of slaves from the planet. But their intelligence has told them that WARWORLD refugees had made their way to Earth, and Superman learned everything that is going on there. He learned that there were individuals, once known as Kryptonians, who had fled in the early days of Krypton, finding a new planet and resettling themselves. So Superman sent a message to the United Planets asking for help in freeing the Philosians. Now when Lord Premier hears that word, he immediately loses his freaking mind, saying to Tharlock that there is no such word, and that it must have been misinterpreted, and that Superman has not asked them for help, and that he is to tell no one that has transpired, not to ever mention Superman is going to WARWORLD, and that if the messenger does, he will have everything stripped of him, and he will be dead alongside his mother. So yeah, this guy is not fucking around. He's kind of intense. Anyways, so yeah, it's clear that this guy has some huge grudge issues against these people, and for whatever reason, for whatever cause, he is making sure that the United Planets do not interfere in anything that is about to happen, and that they do not go there to help Superman. And that's when we pick up with the Authority, with Superman, the Authority, and their spaceship en route to WARWORLD. And in the brief recap, we are reintroduced to the Enchantress, Manchester Black, OMAC, Light Ray, Apollo, Midnighter, and Steel, basically reminding us of who's who in the roster. Now the team are sitting about here, enjoying themselves, playing a little bit of chess, singing some NSYNC and Backstreet Boys together, getting ready for what is about to happen, relaxing before the battle actually happens. Eventually Superman hollers over to them and lets them all know that they have finally arrived. And as they look down on the planet, it looks like a hellish landscape. And not only that, but there is constant artillery firing. And that is because, while the war zones may all fall under Mongul, they are broken up into different factions. And these factions have been at war with one another for decades, which is pretty cool, and I'm glad this is a thing. But I digress. And as they look up around the planet, they see what appears to be little tiny satellites orbiting all around. Now Superman goes out to investigate exactly on what they are. And yeah, those are not satellites. Rather, these are Philosians, hundreds of them being chained up and jettisoned into space, orbiting the planet until they die. And yeah, it's pretty similar to the Masters from Marine. Yeah, those guys. They're dead. Anyways, and so we can see that this is just a horrendous atrocity. In addition, every single one of them has a sign around their necks, serving as a blatant message for Superman, because Mongul has been waiting for him. So essentially this is just a tease, a really fucked up one. As they all look down to the planet, they see the Superman sigil burn into the ground, a beacon calling Superman to travel to. Thus assembling the team, Superman and the Authority make their way down to the planet, and as they get down there, they are met with a projection. And this projection welcomes Superman and the Authority, but he lets them know that it is simply far too late, for they are too late for the countless number of victims whose ashes fill up these skies and who fill the bellies of the great worms, and are too late for Foul Law and her companions. And Superman, he's like, wait, what? Bro, how do you know about Foul Law, in addition to knowing about her people? But the person in the projection lets us know that he knows them better than any living being imaginable, and he begins pointing in a direction, saying they are right over there, to which we see that Mongul has gathered a crap ton of them together as a means to celebrate Superman's arrival. But he didn't gather them together alive. He put them all on stakes, each one of them burned with the Superman sigil in their chest. Basically, Mongul created a path leading directly to the arena, and as Superman looks, he is devastated. And yeah, this was a very blatant message for him to follow the dead, because this planet, this world, is all based on fear, on tactics of brute strength, and the bigger your chain is, it means the stronger you are. And here on WARWORLD, it is believed that when you kill somebody, part of them becomes a part of you. And to die without ever taking a life, you are dying by yourself. And to them, they see absolutely no honor in this. So Superman and the Authority fight their way to the arena. And upon arriving, Superman gives a grand speech to everyone, letting them know that everything that you have going on is a lie, and that we are not your enemy, that you have been taught that these chains, they mean strength and pride, and some really fucked up way of honor. But he lets them know that this is all a lie. Everything that Mongul has ever told you about chains and being a slave is a lie, and that Mongul is not your master. And Superman tells them all that he is here to break their chains, to return everyone home, and for those that no longer have a home, he will help those find a new one, a place which is peaceful somewhere else outside of this world of torture and torment. Thus, Superman tries to appeal to them, letting them know that he comes offering peace, and that he wants to break their chains, and that he wants them to decide what they want to do with their lives afterwards. But this is when he gets interrupted by one of Mongul's minions, the one known as Chatil, the most prized servant of Mongul, and he has served 4 individuals bearing the same name, and that he is the oldest living Warzone, with his chain being longer than anyone else's. Now Manchester Black goes up to him and he asks him, are you the only one that is going to meet us here? Or are you going to do us a favor and get the heck out of our way? But the guy lets him know that he is not alone, and that he stands with the teacher, the mother, the orphan, the darling, and the unmade, for these are Mongul's champions, and they have come to lay the Authority down into their graves. And boom, we see magic of sorts being used against Superman. With Superman currently trapped and not being able to escape, Enchantress and the Authority, all of them recognize that this is about to get really serious, and that they might actually have a little bit of trouble here. And because Mongul and all of WARWORLD, they know that Superman has been attacked by an alien, a creature which we saw back in the Golden Age arc, and ever since that attack, it's been weakening Superman ever since that day. Now the Authority, most of them don't understand what's actually going on, except for Enchantress and Manchester Black. And that is because this entire time, Enchantress has been doing her best to give some kind of power back to Superman, more or less keeping him going this entire time. And Manchester Black has been creating illusions to make it look like Superman is still moving mountains, but the reality is that he's been covering for him. And so this easily could explain why things haven't been making sense in the past couple of issues, where sometimes we see Superman doing great acts of flying and using heat vision with absolutely no problem, but in other times we see him in a very severely weakened state. So what Manchester Black is letting us know is that he's been creating illusions this entire time to make it look like Superman is doing all this greatness that he has always been doing, but the reality is that Superman has gotten much, much weaker over time. And somehow, through some way, Mongul discovered all of this. Now, Superman tries to let them know that he is not their enemy, that he does not want to fight them. He simply wants to free the people of this planet. But what Superman is not recognizing is that nobody on this planet wants freedom. Nobody is asking off this planet. Rather, people would actually want to fight him instead. They want to live by the WARWORLD code, because if they are to defeat him, they believe that Superman of Earth will be a part of them forever, thus giving them strength and thereby giving them more power. And it's during this speech where we see a giant blast coming out of nowhere, thus marking the arrival of Mongul, to which the villain tells our hero that he is finally glad to meet the one who defeated the old man known as Mongul who was. However, this is the Mongul who is, and this battle is about to get extremely bloody. And that, folks, was the end of Action Comics issue 1036. And hot damn, does this issue bring the hype. Now, we all know that Philip Kennedy Johnson, Daniel Sampere, as well as Grant Morrison for that matter, with Superman and the Authority, have been putting a lot of extra anticipation towards the story. And on top of that, Superman is depowered and is more vulnerable than ever before, thereby making this quite a high-stakes story. Now, this issue hammers 3 things home very strongly. The first is that Superman truly cares about all life in the universe. The second is the complicated nature of WARWORLD and the many people and factions that make up its horror. And third is how this issue sets up a new villainous team to give the Authority a run for their money. All 3 combine into a satisfying read, even if Superman is a bit distant of the main structure of the story. Instead, the identity of the book is more of an ensemble cast, with Superman being a kind of wholesome battery that drives the heroes forward. Daniel Sampere once again proves that he is one of the best in the business. The size and scope of an entire world are on full display, plus the opening involves a scene with a space alien who sits amongst plenty of strange flora and fauna, colored superbly by Adriana Lucas, showing creativity that seems to have no bounds. We also get cool new character designs and some epic moments. You can feel the intensity and the new character reveals and the big moments thanks to the art. Now, I can't say that casual readers will understand what is going on, so if you're going to pick up this book, you really should know something about Superman and the Authority before diving in. If you really like the Action Comics Future State story, then you can probably see where this is going. All in all, Action Comics issue 1036 begins a story that feels huge in its scope, as it shows readers a whole new part of WARWORLD and a bevy of evil characters. It also has its heart in the right place, as Superman can't stand the awfulness of WARWORLD, thus setting up an adventure that we've never seen Superman face since he was created 83 years ago. Legit, this is a masterclass in world building. Action Comics issue 1036 gets a 9 out of 10. And guys, if you like this video, make sure to hit that like button in order to show your support to the channel. And tell me, what are your thoughts and opinions on this issue? Are you guys hyped for WARWORLD Saga? Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comment section below. And until the next video, peace.